Well, good evening everybody. Welcome to the Double Dash Motorsport Media YouTube channel for week 4 of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport Series, the penultimate week of Season 3. And you're here for the Premier Class broadcast here with Andrew Mather, say, on the Double Dash Motorsport Media YouTube channel for you once again. Right, hopefully I'm going to click a button here and we're going to have comms box camera working. Yes, we are. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Really looking forward to this one tonight. Two fantastic circuits on the agenda. Lake Maggiore in Italy and the historic, brilliant, fantastic Interlagos Circuit in Brazil. Qualifying should be beginning shortly. Where has my controller gone? There it is. And we'll be getting across the lobby very, very shortly. Before we do that, though, I know we've been having it on the ticker going round for a bit. Let's have a little look at Championship Table, if we can find it, that is. And just recap, because as I say, it is a big, big night in the competition tonight. We could see a champion. We could see a champion crowned. So let's have a look at that situation. So here was the result from last week. Nathan Maximin taking the race 1 win. This was the one that we want to look at. So Nathan Maximin is in a position tonight where he can win the title. And I'm just going to fiddle around and get some of the things back on the screen so we can have a good proper look. There we go. Back with the championship table. So Nathan Maximin leads by 29 points. If that gap stays at 27 or higher by the end of this evening's 2 races, that's if we get 2 races in, of course. We'll talk as to why this isn't the end of the championship for this class in a moment. If he has a 27-point lead at the end of this evening, he will be champion for the first time, and Ryan Sandall's reign at the top of the Premier Class will at least be over for now. Ryan Sandall, as we mentioned, he has got to win races tonight. He has got to close down that 29-point gap. Otherwise, his 2-season streak of winning this championship will not turn into 3. At the moment, if you think 26 points is the max that you can get for a race win and a fastest lap with 3 races yet to run. Yes, we will rerun race number 6 after the issues that we had last week at Le Mans. So anyone with 26 by 3, which is 78 points, is still mathematically in play. So that's all the way down to Mark Ridout and Jack Cameron-Drayton. Although, if we're being honest, no disrespect to those drivers, they're probably out of it by this stage. Trevor, Randall, you'd say, is still an outside bet. He's been very consistent throughout the season, but he could really do with some wins tonight. Kireth Kalirai took a win earlier in the season. He's got an outside chance as well. We've also got to talk promotion and relegation, as just as I said, there's been a lobby reset, so we'll be talking about this and filling for a little bit longer. Promotion and relegation. There is the Clubman class as well. If you are interested in that particular one, DW Commentary and Media, David Whitehouse has got that one over on his channel. Do go check that out. It's a quite simple system. 3 go down, 3 come up. And Rob Dowsett, Martyn Robertson and Sam Dimelow are currently the drivers in those bottom 3 positions. Martyn Robertson, I think, is probably the biggest surprise down there. He was very, very strong last season. It's not quite worked out for him so far in Season 3. So look out for him tonight. He's got to get some good results on the board to pull himself out of that 23. Now, there's 2 other drivers down there that are quite interesting at this stage of the season. Steve Brown and Luke Battersby. We should remind you that both those drivers have taken 15-point penalties for changing the Group 3 car that they've been racing with this season. So they started respectively with the Peugeot for Steve and the Mazda for Luke. Both of them changed to the Chevy, the Corvette, after week 1. So they're a little bit out of position in terms of how they've performed so far this season. We'll be looking to see if they can move themselves up. So you're really looking at Jack Cameron-Drayton and Mark Ridout, as I say, mathematically still in the title fight, but probably more looking over their shoulders to make sure that they don't finish in that bottom 3. Whilst we're padding for time, whilst the lobby gets reset, let's actually just have a look at Clubman as well. So say we've got the Clubman standings coming up. We've got the Clubman Championship going on over on David Whitehouse's channel. for those interested, it's looking pretty sure as to what our top 3 coming up will be. Tom Fox, BUKC driver for Aston in days gone by, and Coventry, a champion with Coventry last season, of course. He's going for the title as well tonight. It's a much tighter affair at the top of Clubman at the moment. Toby Nichols and Javier Garstidi Turner. At the moment, it's looking like those top 3 will be the drivers coming up into Premier for season number 4. Right. As we say, Le Mans. Let's give a quick mention to Le Mans. As we had the problems last week, we are still planning to run that. It may be a championship decider. We don't quite know yet. We will try and bring you that one. We need to sort out what who's where. It's the night before a BUKC event as well. As soon as we know which channel that is being hosted on, we will let you know. You can see a few folks in the chat already. Good evening to David Whitehouse, DW Commentary and Media. And it is indeed live. As I say, they will be kicking off their races as well. I'm currently trying to find a lobby to hop on into, and we'll be on there in a moment. Hello to Essa, SRR. I know there's quite a few Kireth Karts fans in the chat this evening. Kireth is not streaming tonight, so he's kindly asked that a few of you come across here. You are very, very welcome to stay and watch the action as it goes on by. As I say, we will bring you the action as soon as possible. Gran Turismo Sports having one of its moments again. Good evening to Stephen Brewell, obviously cheering on Callum. Callum had a really strong week last week and has got himself firmly in the mix in this competition. Let's just bring up those Premier standings again, just to remind us where he is in them. He's under no threat of relegation. There he is in 6th place at the moment on 42 points in a good battle with Callum Marshall and Kireth Kalirai. Callum Marshall, of course, had some really bad luck last week. A lot of connection issues. The sim racing equivalent of a mechanical. So he's also a little bit out of position at this stage of proceedings. Sorry, I'm just going to have to do a game reset because it's really not happy with itself. Hello to Greg Smith. Greg Smith, racer in the sprints, the Club 100 Sprints Championship, raced in the C3 class in light weights last year. Did very, very well. Looking forward to tonight's exciting racing. Thank you very much, Greg, for being here. And hello to Melty, who's come from Asylum. Thank you very much, Melty. Thanks for joining us here on the channel. Let's have a look at the circuits for tonight. Again, can you tell I'm padding for time? Because as we say, it's 2 great circuits that we're racing round this evening. One moment, s'il vous plaît. There we go. Autodromo Maggiore on the centre layout. One that's not often used. But it's a short lap, so we'll be seeing lots and lots of slipstreaming and overtaking. Probably not as much as we saw at the likes of Blue Moon Oval earlier in the season. But the 20-minute race in the Mazda Roadster will kick things off this evening, once we've got the lobby up and running, of course. And then the big one, the 30-minute endurance race, reverse grid, as always, from the result of the first race. That'll be in the Group 3 cars of choice for each of the drivers. And that is how we'll be running things this evening. Apologies, folks. We're still trying to find the lobby. It's having, as I say, one of its wonderful evenings where things don't just quite work. We're going to take a short break on the commentary and be back as soon as possible. Welcome back everybody to live coverage of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. Hopefully we are going to be back underway very, very shortly. Let's bring you across to the lobby and try and get you some practice. Let's show you some cars going round a circuit, because that's going to be far more interesting than me just replaying music all the time. Let's press some buttons. Hopefully we can bring them in. Thank you for your patience on the stream. We have got a couple of drivers who've still got some issues, I believe, with their connections. Please let us know as well if the sound levels are playing up as always. But there you've got Trevor Randall on your screen. And he looks to be in fine fettle as always. Been really impressed with how Trevor's raced this season. If you're new to the stream as well, there's something you should know about Trevor, which we always mention. He is a pad king. No wheel, no pedals, nothing like that. He's doing it all old school on the pad. Luke Battersby's driving the wrong way. You don't want to do that, Luke. Do go check out Mr. Battersby's videos. He's got a growing channel. He doesn't normally drive backwards. But yes, very good videos. We'll stick a link in the description as to one of his recent videos for you to go and check those out. And he's grown and grown in confidence through the course of the season as well. Hello to Benji. Servers are playing up, not just for this lobby. Yeah. Hope they can get those resolved as soon as possible. There's Sam Dimelow, who must be scratching his head as always because the lobby's playing up again. But hopefully, yeah, we can get them fixed. Big night for Sam, of course. He needs some points if he's going to hold on to his place in the seniors. In fact, Luke Battersby is streaming right now, so I'm actually going to do one up on what I said I was going to do. I'm going to post the link to his stream, his point of view, in the chat. So if you've got a separate screen, do go check that out. Kireth Kalirai as well will no doubt be doing a video at some point on this. Super GT, how could we not mention Super GT? In fact, there he is. Is that him in the pits there, or is that Cameron-Drayton? It's not quite telling me at the moment. What? Well, there's two quadrant cars in the pits, so one of them is Super GT. So do go check out their videos as well, including Squeaky Steve, prepubescent Steve, as he was in one of the FIA races earlier in the week. Mark Ridout. It's been a frustrating season for Mark Ridout so far. He's had great pace. He was in the fight for the win last week during race number 5 of the season at Sardinia. It was a big part in the battle there with the likes of Ryan Sandall and Steve Brown Super GT. But as we say, it needs to still get some good results on the board, because at the moment the risk of relegation is more than real, I think, at the moment, especially if some of those in the bottom 3 and the likes of Steve and Luke get going and get some more good results. So those drivers are the ones that we're looking out for. As I say, you're not missing any competitive action at the moment. There's Rob Dowsett in his Mazda MX-5. Looks like he's just quit to the pit lane. Kireth Kalirai, there he is. Another driver who's had a fantastic season. Took a race win in race number 2, which was at Monza. That great race where he worked well with his teammate Sam Dimelow to build a lead. Got a huge lead over the rest of the field. Did the reverse grid strategy very, very well, and was rewarded for it with a race win. Saw Nathan Maximin behind him as well. So we're still waiting on a couple of drivers, I think, before we go back out on circuit. To bench sheet, Squeaky Steve is the best Steve. I mean, he did very, very well in first one of his races. There he is. He has just made it into the lobby, so I think we were waiting for Steve as well. Oh no, there's more pit lane trouble. We've seen this before. That is not the right line. That needs to be sorted out as soon as possible. The stewards will be inquiring about that one. Sorry, I'll just plug into the machine in. Looks like we're sorting out the endurance race. Thank you to Kireth in the chat. Melty's rooting for both Fray Bentos Racing and Quadrant. I mean, they're two very popular teams. Let's stop watching Luke having his pit lane. Oh my goodness, everyone's having pit lane dramas. This is going not very well indeed. Good evening to Kireth. Good to have you on board, mate. Looks like we are potentially, as I say, going straight to the endurance race, which would be Interlagos. There is Steve, out on circuit now. Getting some practice laps in. Keep your comments coming in. I was going to say if you're enjoying the stream, but I haven't really shown you much yet because nothing much is going on. But once we do get racing, if you are enjoying the stream and you wouldn't mind pressing the subscribe button, please do so. 10-minute qualification, I think, is what we're going to get. Yeah, they're still just trying to reset the lobby at the moment. But as we say, it's been a real pleasure to commentate on the series. It's been a pleasure to race in some of the races in the previous seasons as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to track what's going on in the lobby at the moment. I think we've changed lobby hosts to see if that aids the situation. At this rate, I am going to be racing. I'm going to have to get the wheel hooked up and get it going in a minute. Whilst I'm still padding for time, you can go and check all of the recent streams as well. We did quite a few streams recently. Is that of an F50 model? Yes, it is. It's model time, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little bit dusty at the moment, but yes, I've had this one for years. There he is, Mr. F50. One of the classics. What else can we do for pad time? Yeah, streams from previous weeks. If you've not watched round 5 yet from last week's Mazda race, that was an absolute banger. So do go and check that out. The iRacing streams as well. Apologies for some of the iRacing stream issues that we had at the start of last week for iRacing Legends. Fingers crossed we won't have those tomorrow night. But yeah, we had the racing at Laguna Seca last week in their Global MX-5s, which was really, really good. Tomorrow night we've got the first appearance, really excited about the first appearance of the Ferrari GT3 in the Club 100 and BUKC iRacing Championship. We're around Hockenheim as well. First appearance of Hockenheim, which should be very, very exciting indeed. We had a practice race on Sunday night. It was very, very good. I think there's going to be some tactics in that one as well that some of our drivers are going to be new to as well. So it's going to be very, very unpredictable. We also had a go at Sebring 12 hours at the weekend. I'm going to be honest, it didn't go amazingly well, but we got to the finish. So if you want to go and check some of that out, you can. And we've got all the other races this season as well. We've got the first 2 weeks on there as well. Still waiting on the lobby. Still waiting on the lobby to get things going again. Although we have got cars back out, which is far more interesting than my face. So let's get those up on the screen for you. We've got some quadrant action, some double quadrant action. Double drifting quadrant action there. Jack Cameron-Drayton giving Super GT Steve Brown the big push. Let's turn the music off as well. Let's hear those engines roar. Looks like we've just got RaceDreamerRob back as well. Fingers crossed, everybody, that we do get everyone in and everyone out there and racing. Let's have a little check at who is doing pretty well at the moment. It's Mark Ridout's fastest in this session at the moment. This is just a practice session. Bakey 65. You can go. You're not allowed in here. I don't know who you are. But as we say that, there is a man who knows what he needs to do tonight. Doesn't need to do anything drastic. Leads the championship by 29 points. And as we say, if the lead is, I need to do my countback rules, 26 point lead may be enough tonight if Nathan is one clear win away from Ryan. by that I mean if Nathan has 3 wins and Ryan has 1 at the moment. In fact, that is exactly the case at the moment. Nathan does have 3 race wins so far this season, rounds 1, 4 and 5. Ryan just has round 3 to his name at the moment. Thank you very much, Melty, for subbing. Thank you very much, mate. We are planning to bring more of these over the course of the next few months. We're also hoping to bring some FIA action as well, where we do some competing ourselves. So if you're particularly interested in distinctly average, just trying to stay as an A-level licensed DR driver, then this is the place to be. But yeah, Nathan Maximin is looking quick already. There is Ryan Sandall. We've not looked at him too much so far tonight, but there he is in the very nice sky blue and yellow entry. Great livery as well. Big thanks to Alex Wilmot for all of those liveries that Ryan runs with. As I say, we're just waiting on a couple more drivers, I think, before we get this qualifying session underway. There's Luke Battersby, as we say. Tim Clark as well. Tim's had a quiet season so far. But again, was a very big part of last week's race in round number 5. At one point, if I remember correctly, he was running second on the road. As I say, it was a very tight pack and he finished 8th, if I remember correctly. That sort of gives you a glimpse as to how good that race was last week. Steve Brown, Super GT. Got a podium last week, but still lacks a race win. And I really want this duck to be broken, because I kind of feel I'm as if I'm partially responsible. I haven't seen Steve win any form of big points final, both sim racing and real world racing, I think for about 2 years. So hopefully we can get that one broken. In fact, I'm trying to think now. It's going to be Buckmore Park, Club 100 Sprints. Wasn't last year. May not have even been the year before. It may have been 2018. Big shout out to everyone at Buckmore Park, by the way. If you're not aware, they're obviously having quite a few financial issues, and both myself and Howard at Double Dash Motorsport Media do wish that those issues get resolved as quickly as possible. Absolutely gutted to hear that we're not going to be going there this season, that we're not going to be racing ourselves or commentating at Buckmore Park, because it's a fantastic venue, a fantastic facility. So fingers crossed they all get sorted. Super GT has crashed, ladies and gentlemen. That is not good, but the qualifier is due to begin, and we can finally get some competitive action underway here on the Double Dash Motorsport Media YouTube channel, and I don't have to pad anymore, which is fantastic. 10-minute qualifying session then, and it's, yeah, just as you would expect. Fastest time, hard tyres, sets the grid, and pole position for this first race of the evening. 20 minutes, 20 minutes of the race, 10 minutes of the qualifying session. Quite a short lap, as we say, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities for the drivers to get a good lap in. And they head out on circuit right now. Keep your comments coming in. Stephen Brewell also has an F50 model in his house. Melty likes his cars. Fantastic. We might bring some others out later on. We've got the 1998 collection sat up to my left, the Growing Le Mans collection to my left, and the absolute crown jewel, the 2006 Ford Fiesta Z-Tech 5-door, which was my first ever car. Anyway, enough rambling about that. There's lap times being set, or first lap times being set. Jack Cameron-Drayton we're having a look at the moment, 4th in line. Just tucked up behind Kireth Kalirai at the moment, and teammate Steve Brown, Super GT. What can he do in these early stages? Looks like Nathan... Oh, there's a crash there. Can we rewind? No, we can't. Oh, yes, we can, because it's going to work for us. So was that a problem for Super GT there? Just have a look at this one. Did he bin it? Did he bottle it straight away, or was it Kireth who went off? It was Kireth who completely forgot to brake. What are you doing there, Kireth? That wasn't good. Anyway, Trevor Randall is quickest at the moment. He has pole position by 0.2 of a second ahead of Ryan Sandall. Nathan Maximin is in third. Tim Clark's got a good lap time in early on. There he is in the Pennzoil machine. 4th place. Luke Battersby is 5th. Callum Brewell 6th. So it seems to be following the lead at the moment as we go around the circuit. Let's see if Callum Brewell can put in a faster lap time. He's 0.4 of a second off pole position at the moment. Apologies for some of the connection issues. I think that's at my end. 7 minutes and 30 seconds of this session to go. Jack Cameron-Drayton's gone quicker again. He's done a 48.199. Brewell does improve on his lap time, but he stays in 6th place at the moment. Looks like Nathan Maximin has improved to 2nd. But doesn't have any help at the moment. Doesn't have anyone around him. There's the Quadrant boys trying to help one another at the moment. Steve Brown ahead of Jack Cameron-Drayton. Cheers, Melty. Hope your daily race C goes well, my friend. And hope to see you back later on for the racing. 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Can Jack Cameron-Drayton improve? Super GT can improve. He can go to 5th place, 3rd row of the grid, with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Jack Cameron-Drayton has followed him in, so that's good teamwork from the Team Quadrant boys. Luke Battersby has improved to pole position and has pitted straight away. Maybe he thinks he can't go any quicker. Let's see if we can catch the end of that lap. Well, that was him retiring or quitting back to the pits, having set that lap time. Apologies, Stephen. Yeah, I think the connection issues are at my end. It's causing the graphics to be a little bit jerky this evening. We'll see if we can work that along as soon as possible. Here's Trevor Randall trying to set a faster lap time. He does have a toe, but he's 0.8 of a second off at the moment, so that's not what he really would have wanted at this stage of proceedings. And that's not the best of lap starts as well, so it won't be any quicker on this one. Let's stay on board with Trevor though. No, he looks like he's quitting to the pits. Who's on a fast lap? Ryan Sandall looks like he's on a fast lap. P4 for him at the moment, and he's got his teammate tucked up behind him as well. It is one of those circuits where teammates will try and help one another to boost themselves up the grid. And just to say that, Callum was into the back of Ryan. Good evening to Ian. Evening, folks. Evening, Ian. Great to have you on board. Hope you're doing well. 5 minutes of the qualifying session to go. We have seen an improvement there from Mark Ridout up to 9th place. Look how tight it is. The top 10 covered by just over 0.4 of a second at the moment. Top 11 now covered by just over 0.4 of a second because Kireth's improved to that 10th place. And I think he's got teammate help as well. Yes, he's just got Sam Dimelow up behind him in 12th place at this precise moment. 12 drivers is all we've got as well, so unfortunately I think we are missing Callum Marshall once again. I'm trying to work out who else we're missing. So we should have 14. We've got two oranges, we've got 2 blues, we've got, in fact, both of the Team P1 Inc drivers are missing as well. Yes, Martyn Robinson's missing from this lobby, so unfortunately that might mean Martyn Robinson's time in the Premier class is over if he's not able to race this evening. May leave himself with too much to do in the final race of the season, the rescheduled race, 30-minute race round Le Mans. That'll be next week along with the O-Plate event, the one-off event. Tim Clark's improved to 2nd place. Good lap there from Tim. And he's only 0.04 or there or thereabouts slower than pole position at the moment, so that's fantastic work from him. And he's still lapping as well. Let's see if he can go any quicker. Callum Brewell is sorry to Super GT. What has he done? What has he done out there? round him off. 3 minutes 13 to go. Try and see if anyone is on a particularly quick lap at the moment. Randall going slow again. There is Mark Ridout. He's currently 5th place. Marky Boy 92. A finalist in GT Academy in years gone by. Very, very accomplished racer. Had a few years away from Gran Turismo Sport, but has come back in this last 12 months. I think that was him setting himself up for a new lap. So we'll stay on with Mark for this one. 2 minutes 30 to go. Super GT improves his lap time. Steve Brown goes to 7th place. 4th row of the grid. Can do something from there. Interestingly though, where is Nathan Maximin at the moment? Because I can't. Where is he? Oh, he's 4th. He's there, he is. He's in P4. Luke Battersby has gone back out, by the way, to try and set another lap time. Connections with these drivers seem a bit more stable. So Maximin comes over the line. Does he improve? Still time to go, of course. Not on that particular lap. Let's try and go on board with, I say on board with Luke Battersby, and he goes past Nathan Maximin. Back on board with Nathan Maximin now as we follow a lap through this centre layout of Lago Maggiore. That's a little bit too wide there from Luke Battersby. May get a track limits penalty for that. Launches over the big curbs here. It's got almost a bit of a Imola feel, this circuit. Even on this shorter layout, 50-metre board. Luke Battersby has bailed on that lap, obviously. Did he give enough tow, though, to Nathan Maximin to improve his lap time? This is the driver going for the championship this evening. 1 minute to go. No quicker. Stays P4 and on the 2nd row of the grid. There is Trevor Randall, the other driver currently on the 2nd row of the grid. Maybe a bit. I think, is there a bit of tactics going on here that nobody wants to lead out Nathan Maximin on a qualifying charge here? Nobody wants him to get pole position. They want him further back in the pack to try and control him. I mean, it's a brave tactic. We've seen Nathan have some fantastic battles coming through the field so far this season over the previous 3 weeks. Nobody has been able to contain him so far in this season of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport Series. But they do keep trying. 20 seconds to go. So these will be the last laps then. There is Trevor Randall. He starts a new one. Super GT. Steve Brown has gone to the pit lane, so he won't be going any further forward than 7th on the grid. Who else is still out there? Mark Ridout is still out there. There's a huge train behind. Let's have a look at this team of drivers as the checkered flag is now out. So these are drivers coming over the line. Kireth Kalirai has improved to 8th place late on there. Good lap time as well from Sam Dimelow, but it's unfortunately only 12th place on the grid. 0.4 of a second covering the front to the back. Here is Luke Battersby coming around the final corner. Can he go any quicker? Is he going to be on pole position for this race? There is Nathan Maximin, no quicker. Trevor Randall, no quicker. Luke Battersby has pole position. Fantastic stuff from Battersby here at Maggiore. That is just what he wanted. Unless Mark Ridout can do something remarkable right at the end, which he can't, he stays P5. Battersby on pole. Clark alongside him on the front row. Randall and Maximin row 2. Ridout and Sandall on row 3. Brown, Kalirai on row 4. Brewell and Cameron-Drayton row 5. And then Dowsett and Dimelow wrapping out the 12-car field. Time to go racing then here on the Double Dash Motorsport Media YouTube channel for the first time this evening. Round 7 of Season 3 for the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport Series. Luke Battersby is your pole position driver on the right hand side of your screen. Tim Clark alongside him on that front row. It's lights out, away we go here at Lake Maggiore. It's a good start from Luke Battersby. Also a very good start from the other Team Purple car of Trevor Randall, but Battersby will lead into corner number 1 here on lap 1. Tim Clark follows through in second, needed to do that. And all contact straight away between Trevor Randall and Nathan Maximin. Marky Boy 92 up the inside there. Mark Ridout up to 4th place, so it's already kicking off here on lap 1. There'll be a lot of laps in this one. It's a 20-minute race. And look, the top 2 have already broken away from the rest of the field. This could be big for the context of this race. Fighting still going on for P3. Mark Ridout at the inside of Trevor Randall as they go into the final hairpin. Steve Brown's involved as well. They was trying to do the cutback on all of them. It might have worked. You know, no, he's been shoulder barged out onto the grass on the right-hand side. There's contact again between Trevor Randall and was that Nathan Maximin? It's chaos as they come down the straight, and Trevor Randall is well and truly off the road there. Let's have a look at how all of that transpired. I mean, it's contact everywhere. It's like a BUKC rookies race out there. But, oh dear me, I think Trevor Randall's been hit by about, well, at least half of the field. And that is the result. He is well and truly out of this one and could be out of the championship contention once and for all. Well, let's go back to the front after that crazy first lap. End of lap number 2 here. Luke Battersby and Tim Clark, 1st and 2nd place, and well away from the rest of the field, it would seem. 2 seconds clear of the rest of the field. 3rd place is Ryan Sandall. 4th place is Mark Ridout. There he is. So at the moment, what would this be doing? Remember, it's 25 points for a race win, 1 point for fastest lap, which is where you get the top 26. Or top score of 26 possible from a single race. Then it proceeds to be pretty much like the Formula 1 points. 18 points for a 2nd place. 15 points for... Sorry, it's not like the Formula 1 points at all. It's 21 points for a 2nd place. 18 points for a 3rd. I'm furiously trying to remind myself how we get to a 5th place. And it's going to be... I think 11 points. So it is quite a big move at the moment between Ryan Sandall and Nathan Maximin. And the tactics for Mark Ridout here could be quite interesting. Does he concede position as teammate to Nathan Maximin? There he is in 5th place with Steve Brown Super GT just behind him there in 6th place. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the obligatory spot. 6th place for Super GT. Widely expect that to stay the result throughout the entire race, because he does love his P6, but he is closing in on the championship leader quite a lot there. Good start as well from Kireth Kalirai. He's up to P7. He's got Rob Dowsett just behind him. That's very good from Kireth, because he was towards the back of the grid at the start of this one, and still hanging in there as well as Brewell and Dimelow and Cameron-Drayton. How far back is Trevor Randall? He's 1.5 seconds, so he is starting to close in. Lap 5 though, Luke Battersby and Tim Clark, they will just work together, you'd imagine, at this stage of the race. They know they've got a really good opportunity here at getting some of their best results of the season so far. If they can just keep working together, don't battle, don't let Ryan Sandall back into this one. The gap is hovering around 2 seconds. Do keep your comments coming in. Let us know who you're supporting this evening. So Mark Ridout continues to just hold there in P4. Let's go for a little bit of onboard action here with Super GT. P6 for him still at the moment. He's got a good gap to Kireth Kalirai behind him now. 1.9 seconds to the 7th placed Fray Bentos Racing Machine. As we come up to the 15 minutes to go marker. Deep on the brakes. Oh, was there a little bit of a touch there between 3rd and 4th place? Just have to go and check that back and see what happened between Ryan and Mark. Was it a little bit of lag at our end? Apologies for the lag issues. Yeah, I think it was just a bit of lag issues at my end. Apologies for that. Nothing to get too concerned about. Still 2 seconds the gap between 2nd and 3rd place. So after the chaos of lap 1, this one does seem to have calmed down a bit. Just looking further towards the back, there's Cameron-Drayton, as we say, quite comfortable in his position in this championship at the moment. I don't think he's going to be under any kind of threat. And still a long way in this race to go, of course, so he's not going to panic too soon. As he's down the inside of Sam Dimelow there, trying to get that move done. And does get that move done. Nice move there from the team quadrant driver in this championship. There's Rob Dowsett. Fierce battle going on at the moment between Dowsett and the driver with his own channel. I think that's one that we've got in the description. Do go check that out. Callum Brewell just ahead of him, and then Kireth Kalirai, who had a great result at Sebring at the weekend alongside Basic Ollie and Rory Alexander. I think, if I'm right in saying, they got class third in their split of the Sebring 12-hour iRacing special event. So big congratulations to the team there. I unfortunately wasn't able to watch it. I was busy trying to not bin a big boy BMW around for our split, which was something like split 33 out of 36. Let's just say we weren't successful. B15 class, we survived. But now very good to see Kireth going from strength to strength over there on iRacing. He'll be featuring as well tomorrow night on the stream for the iRacing Legends of Club 100 in BUKC. Hockenheim is our host venue in the Ferrari GT3s. Oh, Dowsett going a little bit deep there, or is he trying to do some form of cutback line? Whatever it was, it didn't work. Battles at the front though. Going for third place is Mark Ridout. Can he get the move done? Sandall to the inside, defends that one very well. But what that has interestingly done, I just wonder, is this a bit of tactics involved here? Because the gap is still 1.8 seconds. Is that to try and pull 5th and 6th place Nathan Maximin and Steve Super GT Brown back into this one? If it is, it's looking quite effective at this stage. Lap 10, 12 minutes of this one to go. So we're looking at what, about a 22-23 lap race for these drivers. Into turn 1 to go, back on board with Super GT. Apologies for the issues with the lag. We'll try and get that sorted before the next race, as we'll have a little bit of practice time. Good evening to Paul Stanford, by the way. He's just tuned in. Great to have you on board. As always, for these Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series events, Paul, hope you're having a good evening. Don't worry, you haven't missed too much at this stage. We're still in the early, or the first half of this one, which was delayed due to some connection issues for a couple of our drivers who've unfortunately not been able to join us this evening. Do hope those drivers can get those issues sorted. We might see them back in for the endurance race later on. The pack looks, though, to have got itself reorganised just as we come on board with Ryan Sandall. The gap is now 1.2 seconds. Don't worry about the jerkiness. That's not Ryan's driving, that's my connection. So they are starting to reel the top two in, which will worry Tim Clark and Luke Battersby. They need to find some pace from somewhere, otherwise they're not going to be holding on to this lead for much longer. Coming up to the halfway stage of this race. To put into context, remember that Tim Clark currently 7th in the points. This form of result, in fact, is he having a little bit of a look down the inside there? Maybe a little bit conscious that the field is closing in. If he thinks he can go quicker than Luke Battersby and break away, I think he'd be very, very brave to try and do that. All the drivers behind will have the benefit of the slipstream. But Tim Clark could be racing his way into 5th place in the championship after this race if he can hold on to this, because Callum Marshall, as we say, is not running in this one. Callum Brewell is currently down in 7th position. 2nd place and 21 points would be very, very welcome. We'll see him in the Jaguar later on. One of a few drivers not using the Chevrolet Corvette Group 3 car. He's still there in 2nd place into the 2nd half of the race. Let's have a little look further back to this pack again. It's been very close throughout the whole race. And it looks like they're being joined by Sam Dimelow. So Sam Dimelow starting to come into this one. He's got back past Jack Cameron-Drayton. I think we've lost Trevor Randall out there. So Trevor Randall is going to be registered in 12th position. And with that, I'm pretty sure ends his championship campaign. Yeah, because it will knock... Well, he was 56 points behind going into this race. Needed to be 52 or less to stay in the title fight. So Trevor Randall's championship hopes are now mathematically dashed, unfortunately. 8.5 minutes to go. Can Sam Dimelow find a way? Because he's one of the drivers that's got to score big points tonight if he wants to stay in this Premier class. He's currently 14th in the standings on 20 points. Has a 14-point deficit to Luke Battersby. Well, we can see that's going to grow. But he's got Jack Cameron-Drayton just behind him, who's a further 5 points up the road. If Dimelow can find a way past these 3 drivers, that is the kind of points overturn that he needs through the 3 remaining checkered flags of the season to get himself out of that position. But at the moment, he stays there in P10. Back with the leader. Still Luke Battersby out front by 0.3 of a second ahead of Tim Clark. What is the gap now, though, to the second group? It's now less than a second as Ryan Sandall continues to do some great work at the front of this train. And he's pulling those 2 Team Orange cars along and Steve Super GT Brown. This is starting to be a little bit similar to last week. Is down the inside. Oh, Nathan Maximin, the switch had been done. This is big for championship. Can Nathan Maximin get in front of his title rival? There's contact. Oh, that's a little bit controversial between the 2 championship leaders. Nathan Maximin left no room there. So they've done the switch already between the 2 Team Orange cars, and Maximin comes down the inside, gets the position. Ooh, runs Ryan Sandall out a little bit there. I mean, that is very, very firm racing. I am not a steward. I am not going to call which way that one is going to go. That is not my job. I'm going to shirk the responsibility completely. But what it has done now is put Maximin up to 3rd. Now, that would be, pending any fastest laps, 16 points. Against a 6th place now for Ryan Sandall, which would be, he quickly does the maths, 13, 11, 10. So that is going to be a swing of some 6 points. I'm just going to check myself again. Yeah, 6 points. Well, well, well. That could be a crucial move in the context of this championship. It would extend the lead to 35 points with 2 races to go. 26 points the maximum that you can get from a single round, from a single race. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, seemingly at the moment very happy to work together. Let's just ride back on board with Super GT. We've seen him do this a couple of times so far this season. The experience of Steve Brown knowing not to lunge it at this stage of the race. Still 5.5 minutes to go. Quite similar in a way to Club 100 sprint racing. Short, snappy races in the context of road racing. If you fight, you lose time. If you can work together, you can work your way back to the front of the field and then go fully for it in the latter stages. And once again, that feels to me to be Steve's tactics at the moment. As almost a little bit of contact there, Mark Ridout makes the mistake, and that is all the opportunity that Steve Brown needs to go down the inside. We'll have another look at it. I think it was Mark Ridout just outbraking himself a little bit there into the final hairpin. Didn't want to take his teammate out, of course. So yeah, it just ran straight on a bit, and that offered the lane up the inside. Steve Brown took it. Super GT is up to 4th. 4 minutes, 24 seconds here at Maggiore. Round 7 for Premier Class for the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series Season 3. Luke Battersby still leads this race. As we say, it's improved fantastically through the season so far, as Super GT has a little look at the inside of NM1M, Nathan Maximin. Started the season slowly, scores of 4, 6 and 3 on the points. Of course, took that 15-point penalty as Mark Ridout has a little look down the inside of Brown there. But since then, a 16-point score in race number 4, a 20-point in race number 5, which was last week. So second place for him there in that one. Can he go one better? Can he hold on to this win? Tim Clark still up there as well. What's Tim's best results so far this season? It was a 13-point score in race number 3, so the first one of week 2. Melty's back with us saying these dailies are dirty. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that one. Looks like there's been a change for 5th place. Ryan Sandall side by side. Ruzzwald up the inside of Marky Boy 92. Can Mark Ridout hold himself in there? He knows how crucial this is for his teammates. He's fighting all the way, and he's got back into 5th position. There's also been changes further behind. Sam Dimelow has found his way up to 8th place, and there's contact between him and Brewell there. Brewell up the inside trying to retake that 8th position. It is all kicking off in this first race of the evening. I thought it might be, with it being the last week, so much riding on it, the last full week I should say. Let's have a little look back at that. So Brewell fighting back on the almost boot-like corner there, getting back up the inside, taking the initiative on the right-hander, gets back into that position. RaceDreamerRob, unfortunately, Rob Dowsett's had a problem. He is down the back of the field having a fight with Jack Cameron-Drayton. 2 minutes to go. Still Luke Battersby leading. Tim Clark in 2nd place. There is Nathan Maximin. Steve Super GT Brown has got his way out of P6 now, is up to 4th. But wants another podium. Got one last week. This is his first one of the year. Before the penalties, has 52 points at the moment, which would be good enough to tie for 4th with Kireth Kalirai. And Super GT's on the defensive. I think he doesn't think that he can get to 3rd place, so he knows 4th is all he's going to receive in this one. He doesn't care for championship. He's not in the fight for the top dog honours in this Premier Class. He just wants to get as many good results as he can. Don't forget about the reverse grid as well, which is on offer in the 30-minute feature race later on. Super GT defensive again to the inside. Can Marky Boy, Mark Ridout 92, get a bit of a cutback? This may be the final lap, you know, as they cross the line with 45 seconds to go. It's going to be very, very tight. Just looking a little bit further back, the battle's still going on for 7th place. Look at this, Kireth Kalirai holding it ahead of Callum Brewell. But of course there's teammate work involved here. Is this the repaying of the favour from Monza? As we mentioned, Sam Dimelow was a huge part of the race win for Kireth in round number 2, race number 2. Sam Dimelow trying to fight his way back into this class, of course. Keep his position in there. Maybe being repaid the favour, but I'm just tracking whether this is the last lap or not, because there's 5 seconds on the clock. Is Luke Battersby going to take his first victory of the season? Yes, he is. Time has expired. There is the checkered flag for Luke Battersby, who wins round number 7 of Season 3 of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. A fantastic win, a deserved win from pole position. Tim Clark gets his best finish of the year as well, P2. Nathan Maximin takes a huge 3rd place. 4th for Steve Super GT Brown. 5th for Ryan Sandall there. 6th for Mark Ridout. And we didn't confirm who was the fastest lap. We'll try and get that in the break. But that is a brilliant victory for Luke Battersby. Do give him a big round of applause over on his stream that he's doing so right now. We'll put it in the chat again. But that is a fantastic, fantastic result, and surely secures his place in the Premier class for next year. We're going to take a short break here on the commentary from Double Dash Motorsport Media. Coming up very shortly will be the reverse grid endurance race. Welcome back everybody to live coverage of the 4th week of competition here on the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. There's just a couple of things that have happened recently and are coming up on the channel. I need to update this slide. We're done with March. We're done. We're nearly into April now. But yeah, the previous week's Club 100 GTS action, that's available on the channel. The iRacing Legends of Club 100 and BUKC is on there as well. That from Laguna Seca last week. Chaos round Sebring being fired off by an LMP2 car with an hour and 40 minutes to go is all on there across 2 streams for the full 12 hours. Of course, you're watching this one now for rounds 7 and 8 of the Club 100 GTS Season 3. Tomorrow night, 7:15 is our kickoff time for round 4 of the iRacing Legends of Club 100 and BUKC at Hockenheim in the Ferrari GT3s. Different race format as well from our normal schedule there, so do come along and check that out. Cars going out on circuit then for what will be our second race of the evening, our feature race of the evening. Let's press that button there and take you back to the practice action. Right, it's unofficial points time. If you are a regular viewer or listener of DDMM, Club 100 and BUKC action, you will be very used to this, and this is where I try and deploy the brain and work out what the heck is going on. Now, this is provisional with a capital P, unofficial with a capital U. Please don't shout at me if I get this wrong. My calculation is as follows, that if Nathan Maximin gets 3rd and a fastest lap, or 2nd in this race, he has won the title, irrespective of what Ryan Sandall does. Or, I've just considered as well, if Ryan wins the race... Sorry, here comes the brain, and it's working very slowly today. Yes, I reckon if Nathan Maximin, if Ryan wins the race and Nathan gets 3rd in the fastest lap, yep, he is champion. That's what he needs to do. So we'll see if he's able to do that on this reverse grid, which should have Trevor, Randall on pole position. 2nd place will be Jack Cameron-Drayton, and then I've completely forgotten what the rest of the order will be. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Thank you for keeping them coming in. This is some brilliant racing from Melty. Thank you very much, Melty. Steve got 4th. Let's go. Yes, he got higher than 6th, which is always good to see. And hopefully Steve can have a good race in this one as well. Super GT, Pogger's result. Great racing from Nathan. It was indeed. He really went for it on that one. He stamped his authority as he's done throughout the whole season in that one. You can see in the chat there that yes, he did indeed get the fastest lap. Keep an eye on tyres in this one. Now, again, I've not done my research. Very bad of me as commentators to not work out how long the pit lane, or the time in pit lane is for this race. We've obviously had a lot of changes to pit lane times on Gran Turismo Sport in recent time. You're no longer able to bend physics and complete a pit stop, including running it up down the pit lane in mere seconds. Does mean that so far this season we have seen nobody try and do the one-stop strategy. I was about to say we've seen nobody do the non-stop strategy. We've seen plenty of people do the non-stop strategy, but we've not seen anyone do the one-stop. We saw one driver try and attempt something different on tyres at the Red Bull Ring. That was Callum Marshall, and it nearly worked for him if he'd had a clean race. He was definitely the quickest car at the end of the race. So it'll be interesting to see in this one, where tyre wear is a concern, whether anyone goes for a stop or whether anyone goes for a different tyre. With that in mind, let's try and see what tyres people are running in this practice session. If I press the right button, which I'm not doing, ladies and gentlemen. Oh dear, it's all gone horrendously wrong. Well, there's a Tim Clark running on set of softs. Softs for Trevor Randall. Softs for Mark Ridout. Softs for, I think, pretty much everybody. But then again, they don't have to nominate which tyre they're on until the start of the race. It was the medium tyre, of course, that Callum Marshall went with at the Red Bull Ring. But keep your comments coming in. If you enjoyed the first race and you haven't done so already, please do consider subscribing to the channel here on Double Dash Motorsport Media. Pushing on to try and get 400 subscribers, which would be fantastic going into what is going to be a very busy period of the year for DDMM. We will be back not just with more of this kind of stuff, but we've also got real life commentaries as well. Wilton Mill Kart Club coming up at the end of the month. We've also got something new lined up, which I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about yet, so I'm not going to. But it's going to be another thing at Wilton Mill, and it's going to be unlike anything that you've seen Double Dash Motorsport Media and Alpha Live work on before. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Wan Sang's asking for standings. Of course, mate, you can see standings. Apologies, these aren't up to date now. These were at the start of the evening. But let's just remind ourselves of those standings. If I take the rolling ticker off, 1 second, folks. We'll get those Premier standings up for you. There they are. So that's what they were at the start of the night. 29-point lead for Nathan Maximin. We know he's extended that. By my unofficial calculations, that gap is now 35 points. 26 points is the maximum you can score in any one single round. Or any one single race, I should say, for a win and a fastest lap. As I say, my unofficial calculations have me stating if Nathan gets third and fastest lap or second, doesn't need fastest lap, he's won the title. Trevor Randall will be trying to hold on for third place now, so he's taken a bit of a hit with that retirement from the first race here this evening. All those zeros that you see for the second race in round number 3, race number 6 of the season, that was our absolute mare of a lobby disaster at Le Mans last week. The plan is that that race will be run next week. So we've got the O-plate happening anyway in the 125 shifter carts. The plan is that the Premiers will run their Le Mans race, their 30-minute enduro, in that lobby session as well. And as you say, at the bottom of the table, Martyn Robinson not with us tonight, so he's looking to be a little bit adrift perhaps in the Premier class there, which is a shame. I've enjoyed watching Martyn race in this one. He will, of course, I'm sure he'll still continue in the Clubmans and will be a very strong competitor in the Clubmans. But it's looking like he may be relegated. Sam Dimelow, as we say, has a real fight on, and with Rob Dowsett as well. Luke Battersby is massively taking himself out of danger though with the win in race number 1. Steve Brown has done so as well with his P4. Let's cut back into the lobby then. Whilst mentioning Clubman, I should go and have a look at DW Commentary and Media, the channel where we have got the second lobby going on. They are probably ahead of us in the schedule, I'm guessing, because we have had a couple of issues so far. I can tell you, the moment they are on lap 10, I'm going to put their link in the chat as well. So if you want to go and watch this one, you can do. David Whitehouse with the commentary over there. At the moment, as I say, they are on lap 10. And it's Jay Elliott currently leading. And Tom Fox, as we say, is the driver leading the championship going into tonight. He's currently in 6th place. Apologies, I haven't got any of the other results for them at the moment. But do go and check that one out. Couple of thanks as well to new subscribers. Melty, as we say, mentioned that he subscribed earlier. Troy G1337 as a new subscriber as well. Thank you very much, guys, for your support. As we say, we'll be back tomorrow night as well for some more iRacing action from 7:15. Myself and Howard Mitchell. As who's that going backwards through Kimmy Gets Lost corner? Oh, Oh, it's Sam. Well, that's an alternative line. Congratulations, Kimi Raikkonen, by the way, on 20 years of Formula 1. I remember Kimi Raikkonen was a young-faced Sauber driver who people thought shouldn't have even been in Formula 1 because he'd only done Formula Renault up to that point. How the years have flown by. There's Luke Battersby, who is ecstatic, I hear, from his lobby, or his view of the lobby, on that win. Oh, we've got some randoms in the lobby. We'll promptly get rid of those. Jay Elliott, by the way, still leading in the Clubman race. Could be on for a win here. That'd be good for him. In fact, have we lost a load of drivers? Let's come back to Comsport's camera. Sorry, folks, you're going to have to look at my face again, because something, I feel the tingling that something has gone wrong again. Oh no, we have still got most of our drivers in here, so hopefully it was just a couple of people who shouldn't have been in here. But do keep your comments coming in. Paul Stanford says it's been a strong run from Nathan so far. It has indeed. I think that it's really been what's impressive with Nathan's run. From what would you say, the back end of season number 2, where he had a very strong last week, then went into the O Plate, won that very, very convincingly, and everyone was wondering, can he continue this form on into season 3? Because in a similar way to how Nathan's had a really strong run this season, it was Ryan in season 1 and season 2, and he's definitely delivered so far this year. As I say, he's got one more race that he needs a strong result from, and he can get this one sewn up with, as we say, one race to go. I think we are all okay now. We can go back to watching some of the cars go round. Let's do that. Tim Clark has had some really bad luck in this Jaguar, and I do have a soft spot for him going in the Jaguar for obvious reasons. Let's see if he can get the job done. He's going to have a hard grid slot, of course, because he's going to be going from the back of the field. Was that a message just telling me to check the WhatsApp? There's 162 messages in the WhatsApp. I do wonder. I was watching Steve's video and there was a WhatsApp noise binging all the way. It's like, oh, I wonder which chat that is. It's very active. Very active. I can't keep up with it. Looks like we have had a couple of drivers having some more game-related issues, shall we say. Thank you, Gran Turismo Sport servers. There's Mark Ridout. Good to see that he got that P6. He's had a tough time so far in these races, especially. He was in a strong position at Monza at the start of the season, got penalties. Should remind everyone as well, whilst track limits and penalties seem to be a big discussion point at the moment of the weekend, if a driver does have a penalty, they are not allowed to overtake a driver in front. So, you know, you've got a 2-second penalty, you think, oh, I'll just nip by this driver in front of me, pull away and worry about the 2 seconds later. Nope, that is not allowed. That is illegal. Drivers must use up the penalty, get rid of the penalty by lifting off. No penalty lines here in this private lobby before they carry on with their race. So we are waiting to get this one underway. Practice going on. Sam Dimelow has taken an alternative line through that corner there. Thank you for all the support in terms of the likes as well. Fantastic numbers there. Thank you for your support. Really does mean a lot, guys. Hope you're continuing to enjoy the stream. Here's Rob Dowsett in the other of the Jaguars. Both of the yellow team racing in Jaguars. Looks like we have now got a grid order set by the host, which hopefully means we're about ready to go here for the 30-minute feature race. Start time was set for 22:20 on the 24-hour clock, British summertime. British summertime, with the clocks going forward at the weekend, of course. Paul Stanford said he's just turned the corner. I'm guessing that's in reference to Nathan. As I say, yeah, he's just got that little bit of consistency, that little bit more speed than seasons 1 and 2, and he's really, really going some great guns at the moment. Hi to DI Trey 44, Super GT for the win. Good to see some Super GT support here in the lobby. Would be great for Super GT to get a win before the end of this season. He's got 2 more chances. We'll be starting P9. Finished 4th in the first race. 12 drivers in this one, unless someone's sneaked in from one of our 2 drivers missing from the first race. A great circuit, this one, of course, Interlagos. We've had it on the iRacing Legends calendar as well. Many dramatic Formula 1 races here over the years. Think back to Lewis Hamilton's first title in 2008, Kimi Raikkonen's title in 2007, Sebastian Vettel's title, which I now forget. I want to say it was 2012. Yes, it was 2012. The third one. And some incredible races as well in the 90s and 80s. Ayrton Senna's emotional Brazilian Grand Prix win here in 1991. It's a proper driver's circuit as well, proper old school with its flowing corners. Interlagos, of course, meaning between the lakes. Very much hope this one stays on the F1 calendar. Don't want to see the Brazilian Grand Prix personally go elsewhere. Battersby will have to start from the back. I'm a beginner, he says. We'll have to start this race from the back with it being a reverse grid. I'm trying to find for you where Super GT is at the moment. Is he running out there? I don't think he is. Luke's going for his opposite way round the circuit. He did this before race 1 and it served him pretty well. Just to talk the relegation battle as well, because we were looking at the point standings earlier. Sam Dimelow, in short, just needs to be as far up the order as possible. Does have a good opportunity here with the reverse grid for himself. Picked off a couple of points from the 19-point deficit that he currently has on Jack Cameron-Drayton, which I say is no disrespect to Jack. Probably the driver I think Sam Dimelow is looking at when you consider that the 10th and 11th placed occupants in the championship before tonight, A, both have taken 15-point penalties, and B, have had good results in the first race. Luke Battersby taking the win, Steve Super GT Brown taking P4. Rob Dowsett for that measure as well, 8 points further ahead of Sam Dimelow. So a bit of pressure, I think, on Jack Cameron-Drayton, especially at the start of this race. Well done, Melty. Just got a win in Daily Race C. Let's go. Very good to hear, mate. Always good to get a victory. And it looks like Jack Cameron-Drayton, our host for this evening, has begun the final, which we'll go to right now. Let's go racing here at Interlagos. It's race time here at Interlagos for the feature race of the evening, round 4 of the championship, race number 8 for season 3 of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport season. Rob Dowsett is on pole position for this one. Jack Cameron-Drayton alongside on the front row. 30 minutes on the clock here in Brazil in the Group 3s. Who's going to take this race victory? The lights are coming on. Away we go here on Gran Turismo Sport. Very good start, it looked like, for Jack Cameron-Drayton. A good second phase from Rob Dowsett, but Cameron-Drayton down the inside takes the lead. Good start there for Jack Cameron-Drayton. He needs to get good points in this one for Team Quadrant and his own spot in the Premier class. Out of turn 3 they go. Looks like Callum Brewell's had a good start. It's already up to P3. There he is in the Cal 401 car. Sam Dimelow up to P4. Ryan Sandall is already up to P5 and going for P4. Deep on the brakes there as they go up the hill now. Fantastic start from everybody involved. Looks like we've still got a full field of 12 cars. Jack Cameron-Drayton, as they come into Pinarino, will lead. Looks like Brewell's got up to second place. Let's have a quick look back at how that occurred. He was already into the position as they went through turn number 8. Rob Dowsett in third place has got the attentions of Ryan Sandall there as Kireth Kalirai goes up the inside of his teammate Sam Dimelow for 6th place. Oh, there was a bit of a fight there. Luke Battersby's already up to 6th place, and here comes Nathan Maximin. Remember, he needs 3rd place in a fastest lap or 2nd place in this race, irrespective of what anybody else does, and he will be season 3 champion. At the end of lap 1, he's already up to 7th place and ahead of his teammate. Oh, 3 wide, and Sam Dimelow's off. That's not what he wanted at all at the start of this one. Let's have a look at a replay and how that all occurred on board. Oh, he got on the grass and it was his own error, I think it was there. Yeah, that was his own error, getting out on the less than grippy area of the circuit, shall we say. And that really has put him in a difficult position now on board with Trevor, Randall, who's in 11th place at the moment. Tim Clark ahead of him there in 10th. Steve Super GT Brown sniffing round the rear axle of Mark Ridout at the moment, over 8th place. Everyone seeming to just be nice and patient at this stage of proceedings. Luke Battersby is in 5th. Now, key move here. Is that team orders? Yeah, that looks like team orders to me. Callum Brewell concedes his position to teammate Ryan Sandall, who has to win this race, to keep the title alive, to make it go to Le Mans next week. You've got to think he's got to get a fastest lap as well. That was a good, sensible switch from the CBR Sandall Racing drivers there. That had to be done. End of the season. We've seen it be done before here at Interlagos. And now you'd imagine that Brewell will just try and hold everybody up, try and bridge the gap, do similar to what Sam Dimelow did at Monza for Kireth Kalirai at the start of the season. Jack Cameron-Drayton continuing to lead, but coming under pressure now from the 2-time champion, the reigning 2-time champion. Ryan Sandall, ruzzwald, performs very well, is often in the top few splits in FIA races in the EMEA region. There's still a long way in this one to go. There is Callum Brewell, Luke Battersby behind. 5th place for Nathan Maximin. He's got past RaceDreamerRob, Rob Dowsett there. Kireth Kalirai, Kireth Kart still there in 7th place. 8th place is Mark Ridout, Marky Boy 92. There is Steve Super GT Brown, P9. And it's all getting a little bit busy in this, well, I was going to say the middle of the field, but it's everyone except the 2 leaders at the moment. Just looking a little bit further back. We have still got Sam Dimelow running out there, but he's unfortunately 7 seconds behind the rest of the field. Here comes Sandall. Can he get the move done into turn 1? Into the centre S. Jack Cameron-Drayton's going to go defensive on the inside. That's going to be a big send from Sandall if he's going to go around the outside. That was really, really well defended by Jack Cameron-Drayton. Holds onto the lead through turn 3. Melty asks, is Callum holding them all up now so ruzzwald can get ahead? I think that's exactly what Callum Brewell's doing. He's playing the team role at the moment. Down the inside into Interlagos goes ruzzwald. Ryan Sandall leads here in Interlagos. Change further back though. Looks like Luke Battersby has got past. Let's see if he got that done early on. Yeah, he was alongside Callum Brewell as they went into Interlagos. Little bit of contact between the two Corvettes there. And BattersRacingCo is through and onto the podium. Looks like Nathan Maximin got through as well. Oh, now this really is getting interesting because Nathan Maximin is now 1 position and a fastest lap away from being in a championship winning position. Which would be very, very, very key for the story of this race. We should check. Let's check tyres as well. Let's just check tyres and see what everybody is running. Has everybody gone with the soft tyre? First, second, third, fourth. I think everybody has, you know. I'm just flicking our way through. Super GT's looking up the inside of Rob Dowsett there. Can he get the move done into the centre S? Yes, he can. Trevor Randall's having a go as well. Unfortunately, RaceDreamerRob is starting to go down the field a little bit. Yeah, I think everybody is on the racing soft tyre apart from Sam Dimelow. He's the one driver who's gone medium, but unfortunately, as we say, is pretty much out of play in this one now. 23 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Third place has changed. Nathan Maximin is in the lead now. This could be very, very key now. If Nathan Maximin, we're trying to get that fastest lap information for you. Apologies. But as soon as we have it, we will let you know. Of course, if he races up into second place, it doesn't matter. He can then do a bit of a Nico Rosberg job, shall we say. Just sit in second place. No need to push. In fact, that would be very interesting if he's able to close down that 1.5 second gap to Jack Cameron-Drayton. What does Ryan Sandall do then? Does he start to do as Lewis Hamilton did back in 2016? Tries to back up his title rival into the likes of Luke Battersby and Callum Brewell? Or does he accept the fate of this season that Nathan Maximin is moving towards the title? Oh, bit of contact between Maximin and Luke Battersby. Luke Battersby, in a similar vein to Super GT, isn't in the title fight, but clearly very, very quick and happy with things in that Corvette. Has taken his first win of the season so far earlier on this evening, and just behind them as well, Callum Brewell's having a go. Let's have another little look at that one and what was going on there into Interlagos. Was it a big send from Brewell there? Oh, yes, it was. That's a bit of a touring car move, Cal, and I think he knows that, and that's why he pulled out of it. It was a very, very close quarters affair between 4th and 5th place. There is your leader. 1.5 seconds is the gap. Paul Stanford thinks Ryan has got the win here. Oh, good chance of the win with Nathan in second place, but Nathan will still push for it. There he is, Nathan Maximin, NM1M. He's recently joined the VQS team. 21 minutes away, plenty of time, and he is pulling the gap down to Jack Cameron-Drayton. It's 1.1 seconds now. Let's have another little look further back. Battle going on for 5th place. What is happening here? couldn't be for the second time this evening that Super GT is going to ascend beyond 6th place. Quite possibly he's just done it there and has got up into 5th. He's got Luke Battersby in his sights. Now these are the two drivers, of course, who changed to the Chevrolet Corvette after Monza. Steve had a really battling performance at Monza when he was in the Peugeot RCZ Group 3. Say has had some strong pace, but hasn't always had the luck in these Group 3 races. Hopefully bide his time here, 20 minutes to go, only a third of the way through it. Cheers, Melty. Thanks for being with us, mate. We see you tomorrow night for more esports action. iRacing Legends of Club 100 and BUKC. More of this kind of racing, as we say, will be in GT3s tomorrow night. Continuing out front, the gap is continuing to diminish. Nathan Maximin is now 0.6 of a second. He is in the tow now. He is in the slipstream of Jack Cameron-Drayton and a guaranteed championship winning position. As Super GT was looking down the inside there of Luke Battersby, and Super GT has got the move done. Let's have a look at how that occurred. It was coming up over the top of the hill, over start finish, and that's a good one. It's going to be a very textbook overtake there from Steve Super GT Brown up the inside, clean as you like. P4 for the team quadrant driver. There is your leader. Change for second. It's happened. It has happened. Nathan Maximin has got past. He was up the inside into Desida del Lago and held the run up to Ferradura. Well, that's at least check move from NM1M, Nathan Maximin. Is it checkmate? Is that the overtake that gives him this Season 3 title in the Premier Class for the Club 100 GTS Series? We'll have to wait and see. Steve is indeed on a march. I'm just looking at where he is in comparison to the rest of the field. I mean, he's built a 0.6 second gap. He will have the attentions of Battersby in his slipstream, but if he can cross that 3-second gap, he's got the time to do it. He could be getting another podium here. It will be a second podium of the year for Super GT. Luke Battersby has a little look down the inside, nothing doing at that stage. But if these drivers work together, you'd imagine that they could, with the time remaining on the clock, catch up to Jack Cameron-Drayton and have a battle for third. Saying that though, Jack Cameron-Drayton is holding on to Nathan Maximin very, very well. Not many drivers have been able to say that this season. Meanwhile, Nathan Maximin himself, what is that gap? What's happening to the gap? It's 2.1 seconds at the moment. There's a penalty. There's a penalty for Luke Battersby. Not quite sure what that was for. Did he catch it through Desida del Lago? No, he'd already got it on the run out of Desida del Lago. What's happening there for 7th place? That's Tim Clark trying to get past Callum Brewell there, just as they go through this very, very tricky Magulo corner into Young Cow. Carl wants to understeer through there. This could be a good opportunity for Tim Clark. Let's go on board with him. On bonnet cam. Eric Mignon has come into the lobby. Hello, Eric. Tim Clark, is he going to do the same move that Super GT did a few laps ago? Yes, I think he is. He has got the line down the inside there of Callum Brewell, and he's got the move completed. Good work there from the Jaguar driver for Team Yellow. That's P6 for Tim Clark. 2.3 seconds the gap now for Super GT to Jack Cameron-Drayton. So that gap is coming down. That is coming down at quite a rate of knots. And We're not even at the halfway stage of this race. We're not far off the halfway stage of this race. Could Super GT get his second podium of the season? 1.9 seconds, meanwhile, is the gap right at the front of the field between the two championship contenders. Let's check in with Trevor Randall. There he is. Started at the back of the field. He's up to 8th place. It's not been Trevor's evening so far tonight. But he'll be looking to consolidate his 3rd place in the championship. Just to remind you, before the start of tonight, he had a 3-point lead over Callum Marshall, a 4-point lead over Kireth Kalirai. He's currently ahead of Kireth. News from Clubman. You can see that there in the chat. Tom Fox is the Clubman champion. Congratulations to Foxy Red. Fantastic Mr. Fox wins another championship. He can put that together with the BUKC one with Coventry last year. He will be in the Premier class next season, along with Toby Nichols and Javier Gorostidi Turner. Congratulations to all 3 of those drivers. We'll see them at this level with the big boys next season. 14 minutes to go here. Ryan Sandall, if he's losing this championship, he's not going down without a fight, is he? 2.4 seconds. He's actually extended the lead over Maximin here. The Dodge Viper versus the Corvette. Do make sure to go check out the action in the Clubmans tonight. DW Commentary and Media. We'll have that stream in full. Very close at the end there. 156 versus 154 and 151. My goodness, that will definitely have been an exciting final that you need to go and watch back later on after this one, where at the moment, as things stand, if things finish like this, Nathan Maximin will be champion in the Premier class with a race to run at Le Mans next week. That's the gap between 3rd and 4th. 1.7 seconds now. Jack Cameron-Drayton is being closed in. Now, I do have to bear in mind the relegation situation. To be fair, I think Jack Cameron-Drayton will be safe for the 4th place. So there shouldn't be any need for any team orders between the team quadrant drivers. Nonetheless, they don't want to take each other out. They don't want to do anything silly if Super GT continues to reel in this gap. If you enjoy the race, do, if you don't mind, click that like button and give the channel a subscribe as well. More action of this nature to follow tomorrow night, as we say, 7:15 PM if you're in the UK. Do check your time zones if you're anywhere else, because we have got to that stage of the year where clocks are here, there and everywhere. Round 4 of the iRacing Legends of Club100 and BUKC Championship. Hockenheim Ferrari GT3s, the order of the day there. Nathan Maximin's just starting to close back in a little bit. He's got the gap back down to 2 seconds. 1.5 now the gap between 3rd and 4th. Looks like Tim Clark has got his way past Luke Battersby as well. Luke Battersby continuing to have issues with penalties, it would seem, and is also now under pressure from Callum Brewell. Let's ride on board with Callum Brewell right now. Oh, really tight to the line there. Trying to go round the outside into the centre S. Will stay on board with Callum Brewell here. He's going to have a great run out of turn 3. A little bit of a oversteer moment for Battersby, who goes defensive again. Has got that 0.2 second penalty. This is a difficult position for Battersby at the moment. Brewell just stays there for the moment in 7th place. Trevor Randall's not too far behind as well. In 8th place, Kireth Kalirai in 9th. Brewell just gives Battersby a little bit of a nudge. This is very difficult for Luke Battersby, because at the moment he can't get rid of that 0.2 second penalty, because he's got a chargy former Warwick and Cranfield BUKC driver in Callum Brewell right on his rear axle. Brewell goes down, or has a look down the inside. Doesn't want to do a Hamilton-Albon manoeuvre there. Pulls out of it in good time. The gap to Trevor Randall continues to go down. It's now 0.5 of a second. 3.8 seconds further back is Kireth Kalirai, who looks to be struggling on tyres, perhaps. Or very much struggling on tyres. In fact, let's have a tyres check-in. Ryan Sandall has kept his in very good nick. Nathan Maximin's are not too bad either. M1M. Jack Cameron-Drayton and Super GT. Steve Brown pretty much the same between the two quadrant cars. Tim Clark's probably done the best job of the whole field at the moment. And then here is he fighting for 6th, 7th, 8th, so a bit more wear there for Luke Battersby than the other drivers. Looks like Trevor Randall's got a penalty as well, 0.9 of a second for him at the moment, so he's got to deal with that. 9.5 minutes to go. So things have definitely settled down at the moment. The most intriguing battle, I think, at the moment is this one between the two quadrant drivers. 3rd and 4th place, Jack Cameron-Drayton, Jack CD and Steve Brown, Super GT. See, David said Tim Clark is the Perez tyre whisperer of this series. I'd be inclined to agree because his pace is really good at the moment. He's now in 5th place, fastest lap at the moment, a 1:31.347 for Tim Clark. Comparing that to Ryan Sandall, who's done a 1:30.996. It's just worth checking in at the moment. So at the moment Sandall is a little bit quicker, I think. Sandall does have the fastest lap of the race. And the change has happened. Let's have a little look back and see how that occurred. It was down into the Senna S. Super GT is up to 3rd. He's on the podium. Jack Cameron-Drayton will continue to fight though. Again, won't do anything silly. They are teammates. There is a teams championship at play as well, of course, which at the start of the evening had Team Orange at the head of it, 156 points. Which reminds me, there he is. Oh, Mark Ridout's not having such a good race in this one. I wonder, has he stopped? He may have pitted, because that is quite a large gap. He has. Mark Ridout has pitted with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. I think Sam Dimelow has pitted as well. Yes, he has. So this will be interesting. Can Mark Ridout make some positions up late on any of the drivers ahead of him? And that's the comparison. Rob Dowsett's tyres are done there with 7 minutes to go. Mark Ridout's are in fine fettle at the moment, but he is 11 seconds down on Dowsett and 41 seconds down on the leaders. So there's an interesting aspect as we get into the latter stages of this one. The Team Quadrant guys are still going at it here. This has been a very good race from Jack Cameron-Drayton. He's taken advantage of the reverse grid, as any driver in that position will look to do. And he's on for some good points here that will secure his place in the Premier Class for next season. Six seconds though is the gap now up the road to Nathan Maximin, so I reckon this is probably about as high as Super GT is going to be able to get this evening. There's this tyre situation. I'm very intrigued now with these tyres. Steve's aren't the worst in the field. You can see both of those right-hand tyres in particular starting to get a little bit warm. What is Mark Ridout's pace like at the moment? His fastest lap is at 1:38.9. Now, is this a tactic as well? I just wonder, is this a tactic from Team Orange to take the fastest lap equation out of the hands of Ryan Sandall? At the moment, it's irrespective because Nathan Maximin is in second place. That's more than what he needs to get himself this title. I'm just hearing from David Whitehouse in the chat there as well that only 2 drivers pitting in lobby 2 for the Clubmans almost cost Fox the championship, but ironically won it due to having the fastest lap. So that's an interesting story there from lobby number 2. Will anybody copy it in lobby number 1? Let's just check in on those lap times again. So that's the last time around for Ryan Sandall. Just trying to pull up the full HUD. Apologies for that. There we go. Now we've got everything. So at the moment, Luke Battersby holds the fastest lap, a 1:29.837, which is a very fast lap indeed. I don't see that being beaten. So unfortunately for Ryan Sandall, I think he very much is now in a bit of a checkmate position. Unable to fight through here. Nathan Maximin has just proved too strong across the course of the last 4 weeks. It's been a valiant effort though from Ryan Sandall. Everyone was gunning for him at this level after having won 2 titles on the trot, and I'm sure he'll be back for future seasons. For now at least, it does look like the title is going in the direction. That driver there in the Chevrolet Corvette for Team Orange. Races for Vanquish Racing Team now as well. Nathan Maximin was very strong last season as well. I do remember in the E60 Championship, had some appearances there. Very much looking forward, of course, this month to the restart of Club 100 karting in the flesh. First round is down at Clay Pigeon in a few weeks' time. We are, of course, bringing commentary of 6, if I'm remembering correctly, 6 of the sprints rounds along with Alpha Live for this season. So do go check those out as well. 2 minutes and 40 seconds ago. I'm just going to try and bring up here in DDMM HQ which ones we are streaming. We are planning to stream BUKC action as well, starting with Clay Pigeon's round in a few weeks' time. In fact, we've got 2 back-to-back visits to Clay Pigeon. Clay Pigeon started the Club 100 season on the weekend of the 24th and 25th of April. We won't be streaming that one for the Sunday sprints. But we will have some DDMM endurance action. Hopefully we'll try and get a bit of a vlog together for that one for you guys to enjoy. I'm talking complete rubbish, by the way, because the BUKC Clay Pigeon visit is the weekend before. So the 16th of April will be our first streamed DDMM Alpha Live Club 100 action of the year. Wilton Mill will be our first sprints round streamed of the season on the 16th of May. You've also got some BUKC Shennington action. It was planned now, but it's changed, hasn't it? It's Shennington now on the first weekend of May. I appreciate that one because that's just literally up the road for me. And then we've got more streams to follow. The visit to... I need to update my calendar because it's not Brewell Park anymore, unfortunately. But we've got the round in July being streamed. Bayford Meadows will be streamed. Another visit to Wilton Mill will be streamed. Rye House and the season finale at Bayford Meadows will be streamed as well. So keep an eye out for all the details of that coming forth, both on the Alpha Live and Double Dash Motorsport media channels. But we are on the last lap then here at Interlagos. It's pretty much stayed as you are. Tim Clark, the tyre whisperer, Sergio Perez in Jaguar form, has fought his way up to 4th place. Jack Cameron-Drayton has unfortunately faded a bit. But it does look like we are going to have a new champion. Ryan Sandall is going to come home and win the race. It will be his 2nd race victory of the season, having won race number 3. The first race, the 2nd week of competition. This is going to be his first Group 3 win of the season. And he'll have another chance for it next week when we go to Le Mans to complete the season. But what will not be up for grabs next week is going to be the title, because Nathan Maximin is going to be champion. Ryan Sandall comes round the final corner, comes round Young Cow, hits the throttle, comes over the top of the hill, is going to win race number 8 of the season here at Interlagos. Across the line, he takes the race victory in 25 points, but there is your champion. Nathan Maximin is your new Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports champion here in the Premier class. It's another podium for Super GT there in 3rd, just ahead of Tim Clark. What a night he's had there in the Jaguar. 5th place for Jack Cameron-Drayton, one of his strongest runs of the year so far. 6th for Luke Battersby, 7th for Trevor Randall, 8th for Callum Brewell, 9th for Kireth Kalirai there. It's going to be a top 10 for Mark Ridout. The strategy, fair play to him, he had a go at it, it didn't quite work, but it's a top 10 for him. He was able to overhaul Rob Dowsett at the end. There is Rob Dowsett in the other of the Jaguars. 12th place was Sam Dimelow. Well, there is your result. Your winner in the race is Ryan Sandall. There he is, but he will concede the number 1 plate to our new champion. Nathan Maximin is your season 3 winner here in the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. Wow, there we go. It was probably a quieter race than I was perhaps expecting. A lot of action early on in that one, but it very much phased into a bit of a tyre battle. Congratulations to all of our drivers this evening. That was looking pretty tough out there in the afternoon hot conditions. Just having a look at some of your comments. Paul Stanford says that's fantastic, with lots of hand clapping as well from DW Commentary and Media. So that's Nathan with 1 title and 2 O plates. Of course, we've still got a round of the Premiers to go next week, when we, fingers crossed, get back to Le Mans for what will be race number 6, but it's happening after 7 and 8, if you can follow that logic at least. But we will hopefully have that on the channel next week, and the O plate to round off season number 3. So if that's a reason to subscribe, I don't know what is, because it'll be fantastic across the course of the evening. Hello to Lorenz XY, who says congratulations to Nathan. As we say, he is the new champion, his first title after finishing 2nd twice in a row in seasons 1 and 2. And yeah, I think that pretty much brings an end to Racing Heat tonight. I'm just going to make sure that I save the replay just for the purposes of, you know, thumbnails and all of that business. But that was a very good race. Kireth Kalirai tunes in with a bit of a comment there, saying yeah, that was a fun race, another top 10 for him, and solid points across the course of the season. As I say, we still have 1 race to go. The title may be decided, but there's the relegation situation to unravel at the bottom of the division. You've still got probably 3rd and 4th, 5th places to battle for as well. So a lot riding on the race at Le Mans next week. But I think that is it. We're going to wrap things up there. Thank you everybody for tuning in this evening. Thank you for your support of the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do consider doing so. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sharing it out. My name's been Andrew Mather. We'll be back tomorrow evening with myself and Howard Mitchell for round 4, as you say, of the iRacing Legends of Club 100 and BUKC. So if you would like your GT3 action, you'll definitely enjoy that one. But as we say, we are going to wrap up things here tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.